You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome back. If you're anything like us, your screen this week has just been flashing nonstop, right?
Yeah.
Money going up, chips getting hotter, jobs changing. It's a lot.
It really is. Feels like major shifts happening almost daily, not just software, but, geopolitics, even the basic physics of computing.
Exactly. So this is our Tech Tuesdays look at the future here on The Vocal Technologist today. We need to try and make sense of it all.
Right. Our mission, if you will, is to synthesize these huge, really rapid changes. We need to grasp the implications, the massive money flows in AI, solving fundamental problems like heat, and what being a developer even means anymore.
Okay, let's dive in. Starting at the top, money, power, AI. That Nvidia OpenAI deal. I mean, the number alone, Nvidia investing up to $100 billion in OpenAI, it's just staggering.
It is mind-boggling. But look, it's not just a standard investment, right? And it's way past a simple supplier thing now.
So what is it then?
That $100 billion is basically funding infrastructure, a massive long-term build-out. We're talking at least 10 gigawatts of Nvidia systems.
And gigawatts.
Yeah. It's a huge strategic gamble that AI models are going to keep improving really fast.
Yeah.
And that needs just enormous amounts of compute power continuously.
Okay, tech-wise, that tracks. But the way it happened, Sam Altman, Jensen Huang, mostly virtual meetings, one-on-one.
And crucially...
No bankers.
Exactly, no bankers involved. For a deal this size, almost unheard of.
That's wild.
But maybe even wilder, Microsoft, OpenAI's main shareholder, their cloud provider.
They knew, right?
They were told one day before signing.
One day. Seriously.
Seriously, it just shows this incredible concentration of power and the speed these top players are moving at, way outside the usual checks and balances. You know.
If you're big enough, you make the rules, set the pace. Okay, so OpenAI locks down $100 billion, but then you see other huge valuations popping up. It makes you wonder.
Absolutely. Like, look at Tether. They're reportedly trying to raise $15 to $20 billion, which could push their valuation to maybe $500 billion.
About $500 billion for Tether. The stablecoin people.
Yep. Potentially putting them in the same league as OpenAI, valuation-wise.
How does that even work? One's pushing AGI, the other's digital currency infrastructure.
Well, it raises big questions, right? About the market, the hype. Investors are clearly betting Tether's crypto infrastructure becomes absolutely essential. Less about shiny new tech, more about owning the plumbing for digital money.
That's efficient.
Right.
Scary efficient. And this whole funding craziness, it's hitting everyone. VCs basically throwing money at AI startups.
Oh, yeah. Pitching them, preemptive deals, rounds closing faster and faster.
But that creates this fear, doesn't it? The AI bubble fear.
Definitely. There's a real risk. If startups take cash at these crazy high valuations now, fueled by unsustainable growth hopes, well, they might price themselves out of future M&A or later funding if things cool down.
Right. Speaking of accumulating power,
Yeah.
Larry Ellison, we need to talk about him. He's moving into media, government tech. The scale is just, wow.
It's a fundamental shift. He's building something maybe bigger than the old media moguls like Hearst, because he's got the infrastructure and the content layer.
How so?
Well, he owns over 40% of Oracle. Oracle's right in the middle of this new U.S.-run TikTok setup.
Okay, the TikTok deal. That's complicated.
Very. But then, on top of that, the Ellison family just bought Paramount and CBS for $8 billion.
Right.
And now they're supposedly prepping a bid for Warner, which includes CNN. See? Cloud infrastructure meets news and entertainment narratives.
Control the pipes and what flows through them.
Like,
Okay, unpack the TikTok deal structure for us. Estimated $14 billion value.
yeah, roughly. So a new U.S. joint venture company manages the U.S. side. ByteDance keeps less than 20% stock.
And Oracle's role.
Crucial. They oversee data security, they monitor algorithm changes. The U.S. TikTok licenses the recommendation engine from China, but, and this is key, it has to be retrained only on U.S. data.
Keeping the data firewall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Preventing data flow across those geopolitical lines.
But it's not fully done yet, is it?
Yeah.
Trump signed the order, but China.
China still hasn't officially okayed the terms needed for it all to go through. It's like a perfect little snapshot of the whole U.S.-China tech tension right now.
Okay. All these massive deals, these giant data centers, they all run into a wall, a physical wall.
Heat, yep. All this compute generates immense heat.
And it's becoming the bottleneck, isn't it? Those new Nvidia chips, the ones OpenAI is buying billions worth of, they run hotter. Our current cooling tech just can't keep up.
It can't. Not efficiently, anyway. We're hitting physical limits trying to cram more power into less space. makes those huge data centers potentially uneconomic pretty quickly. We need something radical.
And Microsoft thinks they have it.
They have a very promising candidate.
Yeah.
In-chip microfluidic cooling.
Microfluidic, like tiny water pipes inside the chip.
Pretty much, yeah. Instead of a cold plate sitting on top, the cooling fluid flows through tiny channels etched directly into the silicon.
Have they tested it?
They have. Successfully ran server core services, simulated a huge Teams meeting load, and the results were impressive.
How impressive.
Up to 3 times better heat removal than traditional cold plates.
3 times. Wow. That's not just performance, that's huge for efficiency, for cost.
Exactly. Better power usage effectiveness, lower operating costs, greener, cheaper data centers. It's a massive win if it scales.
Okay. And this efficiency push isn't just in data centers, right? We're seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Even beyond Earth.
Well, first, let's not forget consumer tech. Apple's new iPhone Air stuff, A19 Pro, N1 wireless, C1X modem. It's all built around AI efficiency, packing more neural compute into the GPU cores. That's fundamental.
Right. Efficiency on Earth, efficiency in space.
It's critical for space survival and expansion. Look at NASA. They're now seriously racing China and Russia to get a nuclear reactor built on the moon.
A nuclear reactor. On the moon. By when?
Target is late 2029.
Why the rush? What's the worry?
It's strategic positioning. There's a real concern voiced by NASA leadership that whoever sets up a permanent power source first, well, they could potentially declare keep-out zones.
Keep-out zones on the moon. Seriously.
Seriously, blocking access to strategic resources or locations, it's the new space race, but fought over infrastructure.
Wow. Okay, while NASA races for power, Blue Origin's doing something different with moon dust. Blue Alchemist.
Yeah, Blue Alchemist. It uses something called Molten Regolith Electrolysis, MRE. Basically melting down lunar dust, the regolith.
And turning it into?
Useful stuff. Solar cells for power, structural metals for building, and crucially breathable oxygen.
You're liking resources on the moon itself.
Exactly. And the goal, by using local resources, they think they can make future lunar landings up to 60% cheaper. Stop hauling everything up from Earth. It's a game changer for sustainable presence.
Okay, from $100 billion AI deals to turning moon dust into oxygen. The sheer range is incredible. Let's quickly touch on human health too, because tech enabled some big breakthroughs recently.
Absolutely. Compute power and precision medicine working hand in hand. First, there's new hope for Huntington's disease.
Which is just devastating, like dementia, Parkinson's, and motor neuron disease all rolled into one.
Relentless. But this new gene therapy, it requires incredibly delicate brain surgery, sometimes taking up to 19 hours to deliver it precisely.
And the results?
Early data, but promising. 3 years after treatment, they're seeing an average 75% slowing of the disease's progression.
75% slowing.
Yeah.
For something previously unstoppable. That's amazing.
It really is revolutionary potential. Stabilizing a degenerative disease like that is huge.
What was the other one?
Cobenfy, developed by Karuna Therapeutics and Bristol Myers Squibb. It's the first truly novel medication for schizophrenia in 50 years.
50 years, wow.
Yeah, and the key is it seems to reduce symptoms like hallucinations without the really common, often debilitating side effects of older drugs, especially things like major weight gain. Big step for quality of life.
Okay, amazing progress there. Let's shift to the people building all this future tech, the developers.
Yeah.
Their job seems to be changing profoundly. Google's Ryan Salva had some thoughts.
He did. Salva basically thinks the time developers spend heads down, actually typing code in their IDE, that's going to shrink over time.
So what replaces it?
The role starts looking more like an architect. Designing systems, figuring out how complex components, including AI agents, fit together, managing efficiency, ensuring reliability, less line-by-line coding, more high-level design and orchestration.
And the tools are changing too, right? OpenAI pushing their new responses API.
Yes. They're actively steering developers away from the older chat completions model, which is more for, like, single-turn conversations, towards the responses API. It's built for persistence, for reasoning over time, for using hosted tools, for multimodal stuff. It's designed for building proper agents.
Agents that remember context and can perform complex tasks.
Exactly. OpenAI clearly sees that as the future default way to build with their models. We're moving towards that agentic architecture fast.
Which brings us to this weird contradiction in hiring, the hiring paradox.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You've got Anthropic on one side saying they rarely hire fresh grads anymore.
What?
Their logic. AI is automating the simple, entry-level tasks, the debugging, the small features. the stuff juniors used to cut their teeth on. So those stepping stones are vanishing.
That's pretty bleak.
Mm.
If AI removes the first rungs of the ladder, how do new people climb up?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? But then you get the complete opposite view from Shopify.
What are they doing?
They're aiming to hire 1,000 more interns. They're explicitly saying motivation, ambition, character that matters more than years of experience right now.
So they value the drive.
They see juniors as bringing energy, fresh perspectives, pushing the whole team. They're betting on potential overproven skill, challenging that idea that AI makes juniors obsolete.
Wow. So one AI leader says, you can't learn here anymore, and a huge commerce platform says, your drive is what we need. That difference is going to shape the whole industry.
It absolutely will. Now, another challenge developers face: making software that just works seamlessly, especially local-first apps.
Yes. Apps that work perfectly offline. Sounds ideal, but they aren't really common. Why not?
Syncing, it's just really, really hard to get right.
Explain that.
Okay, imagine a local-first app. You're editing a shared document on your laptop offline on a plane. Someone else edits the same doc on their phone with spotty Wi-Fi. When you both reconnect,
Chaos. Data loss.
potentially, the system has to figure out how to merge those changes, made independently and maybe out of order, into one consistent state without losing anything. That convergence problem, handling conflicts reliably across distributed devices, it's tough.
So we need a rock-solid way to guarantee that convergence.
And one potential answer that's getting attention is Squalite.
Schoolite. Little database file.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredibly battle-tested, it's lightweight, it's everywhere. Because it handles local data consistency so well within its single file structure, it potentially makes the cross-device syncing problem much easier to solve reliably. It guarantees local state convergence.
Interesting. Okay, last convergence story. Operating systems themselves. Android apps coming to PCs.
Looks like it. Google and Qualcomm execs have basically confirmed it's happening. They want to bring Android's AI features and that huge app ecosystem fully onto the PC platform.
So Chrome OS and Android merging, essentially.
That seems to be the direction. Earlier hints pointed that way, but recent talks really solidify it. Expect Android laptops, native AI, maybe running inside a Windows-like shell soon.
Okay, what a journey for this Tech Tuesdays look. From $100 billion handshake deals and global algorithm rules, down to micropipes, cooling chips, lunar reactors, moon dust alchemy, and how developers even get hired. It's a lot. The speed is just breathtaking.
It is. And, it reminds me of something the mathematician Terence Tao observed about the current, the zeitgeist.
Oh, what's that?
He pointed out that our modern systems, the massive AI clouds, the consolidated media empires we talked about, they tend to massively empower large organizations.
Right.
And they maybe slightly empower individuals, but often it feels like it comes at the expense of smaller organizations, smaller groups.
Yeah, that imbalance definitely creates that feeling like, how can I possibly influence these huge global challenges when the titans seem to have it all locked down?
Yeah.
It can feel alienating, maybe even cynical.
It can, but we have to hold on to the counterpoint, the one that matters for everyone listening right now.
Which is?
People 50 years from now, they'll look back at this moment, right now, this wide open frontier for AI, for space, for hardware, for software, and they will think this was the golden age. This was the best time to invent something truly new.
You are not late. That's the message. Despite the scale, despite the complexity, right now is still the time. So the question for you is, what monumental shift will you look back on and say, I started that today? Keep exploring, keep building. We'll catch you next time.
Spoken Tech for your ears.